Hey guys, this is Mark Hutten with AdultAspergersChat.com, and I recently received a rather lengthy email from a neurotypical wife who is married to a husband with Asperger's syndrome, and I'm just going to condense her email in just a sentence or two. Basically, she was saying that whenever they have conflict, it always ends badly because they just end up fighting, and she yells and he shuts down. That's basically what goes on in their method for conflict resolution. And so in this video I want to look at why the NT wife and the Asperger's husband often have great difficulty in reconciling differences. And so in order to look at that, we have to look at how each person deals with their stress. If the Asperger's man was forced into a situation where he had high levels of social contact for an extended period of time, he would quickly burn out. In other words, he would be so overstimulated that he would have to have some time alone just to recharge his battery. Now let's contrast that with the neurotypical woman. If the NT woman was forced into a situation where there was extended periods of no intimacy, no emotional reciprocity, no sharing of feelings, she would burn out. And as a result, she would need to have connections with people and to share feelings to recharge her battery. So in periods of high stress due to relationship difficulties, the man with Asperger's needs to find refuge in solitude. Conversely, in high stress situations, the NT wife needs to have connection, emotional reciprocity, and to share feelings. So you can see why communication is such a problem between the Asperger's man and the NT wife. The man with Asperger's syndrome needs to disconnect in order to de-stress, while the neurotypical wife needs to connect at an even deeper level in order to de-stress. So this might explain why the Asperger's husband is less aware of the relationship difficulties than the NT wife. During high stress, he can always disconnect. His method for de-stressing is always available. But for the neurotypical wife, during relationship stress, she will not likely be able to connect or to share feelings in order for her to de-stress. So it's not uncommon for the neurotypical wife to be the one that complains the loudest, is because she's not in the position to de-stress like the Asperger's husband, because he just shuts down and seeks solitude and then he's fine. She's not. So to summarize, the NT woman implodes, whereas the Asperger's man explodes. If you're in a relationship with a man on the autism spectrum, you may have witnessed many meltdowns and rage attacks. Under toxic relationship stress, the NT woman will want to recruit others, including her husband, to deal with the stress, whereas the Asperger's man will want to keep things to himself and seek solitude. The NT woman will want to seek support and she will associate, whereas the Asperger's man will withdraw and dissociate. And why is this the case? Well, largely because the NT woman has a very highly developed social emotional brain, whereas the Asperger's man has an underdeveloped social emotional brain. He's very low in sociability and empathy, and unfortunately that's the way he's wired. Asperger's syndrome is a developmental disorder by definition, which simply means that developmentally his social emotional brain is lagging compared to his chronological age. Now there's many things that can be done to establish effective communication in spite of the fact that the NT woman and the Asperger's man are wired so differently. In fact, if you'll click on the links below this video, we'll get into some methods of what can be done in this case. Thanks guys, Mark Hutten with AdultAspergersChat.com. Talk to you again soon.